Peace to you. Peace to you. Peace to you. Great rising, great Saturday. I'm going to start about at the 2-minute mark. Start about at the 2-minute mark. Give us about 10 seconds to kind of take a deep breath and really focus and center in with our source, with what gives us our motivation and inspiration through our life. Deep connection to what truly matters. Today we're going to deal with the part of spirituality that will begin to wash everything away from you. There is a point past your pain. There is a point past your trauma, outside of your struggle, outside of your slavery, outside of your indentured servitude. So we are going to deal with that part outside of it. Peace to all the souls, all the gods and goddesses throughout the land, throughout the universe that's tuned into this message. Since today is Saturn Day, we are going to take a step out of time. What I want you to do is to understand the concept of Saturday and out of time. We go through a work week. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that is more of our general main life. And then we have this moment outside of that everyday minutia, which is Saturday or Saturn Day. And this is outside of time. We've been talking about the universe a lot, and that just solely represents that point of being, that understanding, that knowing of this present moment is always surrounding us, whether it's in the past, whether it's in the present, whether it's in the future. This moment of now is something that we can tap into throughout millennia, throughout time, and we have to give ourselves enough time and understanding and patience. There is a lot of work to still be done within us. It is like an onion. If we uncover one layer, there's a whole nother layer that we have to uncover. So this spirituality thing is going to take us the remainder of our lives. This is a marathon for us, for me and you. And so we want to deal with the astrology. We want to look at this, really want to look at this. So Neptune opposed Venus. What does this mean for you exactly? Neptune opposed Venus are the illusions of ambition. The things that you were working towards that meant so much to you, but then when you get them, they have no real value. The value was in you actually wanting them and working towards them. So once we begin to get it to a point where we achieve our goals and accomplish the things that we really want to accomplish since we were children, we find out that those things are very empty. They're very existential. They're very subjective. There is a world out there that you could begin to tap into, that you can begin to deal with, that is deep within yourself. And so this is Neptune opposed Venus. How is that showing up for you? That existential, the thing, that subjective thing that you want really has to be examined for filth. You cannot look at it as, okay, if I do get this big golden ball, then I will be satisfied because this golden ball means so much to me. And that's initially what our subjective realities is matter, is just a ball. And so however we view it is what it is. But generally we have to begin to look at matter and our external surroundings for what they are, just condensed forms of energy. So let's raise that level up. Let's raise that vibration up. So when we talk about the pain that you may be dealing with, you're not really dealing with it. You're just not ascending. You're just not elevating past it. So these things you're choosing for it to bother you. You're choosing for it to harm you. Just how you had an issue probably when you were 7 about, something that doesn't really matter now, but when you were 7 it was very, very important. So even now to this day, even the worries that you may have that are so serious, like what about the world and the unemployment rate and race gap and wealth gap and things of that nature. So are these things truly real? On a level they may be real, but you have a point of reference, a point of access that you can begin to deal with as Neptune is opposing Venus, as we can begin to bring those things together and not really look at life just from my this is what I want. I want this set of financial monies that I can have so I could live a life of leisure and, you know, chill on the beach. You know, there's work to be done for people. People are really slaves and have a slavery mindset. And who's going to wake people up from their actual slavery, their actual indentured servitude, their connection to these corporations, when these corporations are simply sucking the life force out of them and not giving them fair energy exchange. And so we want to take ourselves outside of that Monday through Friday structure and start to deal with our energy. See, the work is not over when the weekend starts. The work is simply just beginning, because now we have to begin to rediscover, recenter ourselves within our being. And so this energy, Venus is sextiling Jupiter. And so we have to remember that Jupiter is a human being that's going through the process of turning itself into God, that is finally reaching its culmination, its highest peak as it moves into Jupiter. So I may say this every time I go on live with you and discuss this. You have to clear pain. You have to clear trauma. Just like an onion. Okay, you cleared that pain, but there's still a deeper pain there. And so when we talk later about the inner critic, we see how that shows up and how deep that inner critic is. So even if you have all of the hot memes and you read all of the hot books, but you still not addressing that inner critic, you're still not fighting against that inner critic, then that energy will begin to take you over. And so we don't necessarily want this. This is not a dark time per se, but this is a real time. So we have to begin to look at things objectively and holistically, because we are turning into gods. And so a god will look on the earth as it is. He's not going to be like, oh, that poor lady over there, she did it. And meanwhile, they're robbing a bank over there. So you just have to always be objective about everything in reality. And so Jupiter is trining back to Neptune. So what that really is saying is, through this clearing trauma, you naturally assist your pineal gland. You naturally connect. So if it comes to trouble and issues and drama and problems in your life, you have to clear them, because your magic depends on it. The universe depends on it, because you are focused on something that truly doesn't exist. When we deal with matter, we're dealing with 99.99% of empty space. And when we deal with our eyes and the things that we see, we only see 0.0035% of the spectrum. So we really don't see anything when our eyes are open. The only time we truly see is when we close our eyes and we open our pineal gland. This is something that human beings need to really understand. And what I'm saying could be validated by just doing a little research on what we actually see and what's actually happening with our occipital lobe and our whole vision sense of the world that we think that it is. And we have this made up idea of our sadness. We have to begin to address this. Speaking for you and me. So we want to deal. So we dealt with this Venus, Neptune, Jupiter thing. Now we're going to dwell into Uranus and Taurus and see what that means for us specifically. We're going to deal with three aspects to Uranus. Uranus square Pluto, Uranus trine Saturn, and Uranus square the node. And so, I'm sorry, it's not Uranus square Pluto, it's Uranus square Mars in the south node. Apologize for that. So first, Uranus square Mars in the north node. Like I said, this is where you tap into your God mode. This is where you tap into your out of time mode. This is where you have full perspective of past, present, and future. You just see it. Just see it. Just visualize it without having an emotional attachment. Detachment. You have full vision and full range to take control of your life. But first you have to see it. See some patterns. See, when we begin to be detached from our emotional wants and needs, then we'll see a pattern in the energy and we'll know how to deal with the energy. See, if we just have an emotional need, say for instance, we want money. This is an example. You want money, but you get money beginning of the month, first 2 weeks of the month. The last 2 weeks of the month, you don't get as much money. But that need for money blocks that vision from seeing the pattern every month. So the smart thing to do is realize the pattern. I only get money these first 2 weeks. So these last 2 weeks, I'm going to either implement another form of income to balance the money flow, or I'll just stop focusing on it for the last 2 weeks and do something different with my energy and conserve the money that I make in the first 2 weeks, because I'm realizing this pattern. You don't see this pattern by being so drawn into what you emotionally need. You just want what you want, and so you're frustrated. And so we have to become detached and understand that we have gifts. We have the ability of foresight. When we're objective, we can see the past, the present, and the future all as one thing. This is something that we can do, but if you're mad about something, if you're sad about something, if you're not clearing with every being and fiber of your, like every day we talk about this because it's that important, and we'll forget about it in an instant and be in our feelings. We can be just chilling, driving to work in the In My Feelings song. And now you're thinking about Jerome. And does he love you? Is he riding? You know, so you have to really be mindful to not be in your feelings, because the world wants you to be in your feelings. I want you to be out of your feelings. I want you to be objective and see this thing for truth. Uranus is trying Saturn. This is Saturn day. This is out of time. This is the weekend. But really it's a play on words, because you are weakened with that ideology that thinking that Saturday is your time to play. No, Saturday is your time to work. Monday through Friday, you've been playing. Saturday, you can deal with your true spirituality. So I wasn't going to do a video today, but then I started doing this astrology and it spoke to me very clearly. So I had to get the message out. Uranus squared the nodes. Okay. Be patient. Understand that these things work. Like, if you're able to be objective from that space, is patience. Objectiveness is patience. You cannot be objective if you're impatient, if you just want something so bad, if you're just so scared of how people are going to see you if you go to a homeless shelter. Well, if you have, like, sometimes you just got to do what you do. Are you so scared that people know that you don't got no damn car right now? Or you paying out the ass for a vehicle, you know, that isn't worth it. So you have to get out of how people are judging you, like, because people don't give a care about you and your journey. It's all about self-reflection and really understanding what's actually happening. Understanding context. How do you create context through all of your situations in life? This is your job. You have to figure this out. You have to figure out context in all forms, through all deaths, all rapes, molestations, murder, atrocities, genocide, Holocaust, like any horrible thing that you could ever imagine. You have to create the spiritual symbology, or even ask the question, why did this happen? Creating a divination system for yourself before you get emotionally attached or drawn to a situation. That's the first thing you should do. Oh, I'm triggered. Let me divine for a second. Let me be objective. Let me see what my inner self has to say about this first. Let me meditate on it. Don't see something triggered, mad, before you're objective, okay? That's Uranus square the nodes, because this future is coming, but what are you doing to prepare for it? What seeds are you sowing? We're still in the business of sowing seeds. We're still on the way to a full moon, lunar eclipse. So we have to be mindful of the things that we say we are. You're sad. Why are you sad? Human, check. Upset, human, check. Like, you're getting wrote off with these emotions. You're getting wrote off and pushed aside into the dregs of society, and you don't even know it because you don't even see life for true. So very important, very important, very important. So hopefully through the astrology, we got the overall gist of the energy for the day. It's very important that you do work, and very important that you get outside of your present day, everyday, mundane reality, especially today, especially Saturn's day, especially Saturday. It's time to be weird. It's time to turn up. Let me get on this camera. Oh, I need a manicure. Um, Three of Wands. So we, through this clearing, through this knowledge of dealing with the part of spirituality that cleanses and clears away all of the bullshit, all of the abstractions, all of the things that truly don't matter. Where are we now? What process? Where do we find ourselves? We find ourselves in the process of Three of Wands. This is an initiative process. This is a I am process. So I am sad. I am angry. I am mad. You know why? Like, this is your initiation. This is what this is the energy that you're gonna put out, God, that you're an angry God. Why aren't you a benevolent God or a healing God? Or I am a healer. I am a conqueror. I am a transformer. I am a I am a wealthy provider for my family. You could be whatever you want to be, but you are mad, so I'll let you have that. Seven of Swords. And so earlier I talked about the self-critic and how it shows up. And so we're dealing with this onion thing. So say, for instance, you're an ascendant master, or people around you think that you're deep. Okay, that's one level of the onion. You got to be smart enough to know that this is a lifelong journey. So no matter how many people say, oh, Hoodmystic, I love you, you so deep, you be saying all the fly shit that I like. Like, I got work to do. I got healing to do. So part of my healing is to get on this live and be raw and uncut with y'all about the real things that are going on with me spiritually and the transformations that are happening in my life in real time. That's what this is about. The message should resonate with you because the message is for truth. But at the same time, I got issues and problems myself. Nobody is perfect. The journey is the work. The work is the work. The work is the reward. The ability to do a ritual, to give thanks to the ancestors, that's the reward within itself. Whatever comes from that could be a goddamn volcano. It could be an earthquake. I don't know. But I'm just giving thanks and really understanding my human reality transposed against my spiritual reality and bringing it into full context. And this is what I want for you. And so how did the Seven of Wands or the Seven of Swords connect to this? The Seven of Swords connects to this because you generally tell yourselves lies all day. You just lie to yourself. Lie to me, lie to me. Like, just lie. I'm scared. I'm this. I'm a woman. I'm black. I'm tall. I'm short. I got kids. All of these illusions that you tell yourself, but this is all part of the matrix. This is all part of the programming. So the lie that you tell yourself is that you are a human being. So the truth is that you are a spirit having a human experience. And so from this point, you got to tap into some regenerative energy, some new beginnings energy, some energy that's going to bring you to the next level. And that is the Fool. Starting the fuck over. Y'all hold on so much. You hold on to so much stuff. You hold on. And you need to let go. Because that anger and that pain and that sadness and that trauma deserves to be cleared. You deserve to elevate from it. Just because you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people that fester in that pool of cess, you have to be smart enough to rise above it. Like, I don't give a shit that all of y'all are sad because of this thing that happened. We now have raised and elevated ourselves to that of God. So we need to act accordingly and think accordingly and do accordingly. We can't realize ourselves as God and go to fucking work in the morning. It doesn't work like that. Like you have to fully understand that people are using your energy. So you have to use your energy and you have to be strong about it. You have to be a dog about it and start over. And from that place, when you start over, when you deal with your full energy from your full space, then you deal with the miracles of the sun. Every day the sun rises and blesses you with energy, happiness, joy, vitamin D, you know? So generally, the sun represents a miracle that's going to transform in your life. But if we're following the path of the astrology into the tarot, there's a clear path of clearing first. There's a clear path of just being diviners and dealing with energy before we emotionally assess it. I'm angry. Well, were you balanced enough to be objective to study it and realize the full context of the whole situation? No, you just read a headline. Good talk. The lovers. We still on our heart fuck shit. We still on our raising our sexual energy beyond our sexual organs. It's a tongue twister, but it's some real shit. And so from this point, we cannot be afraid to deep dive between our negative and our positive polarity. Lovers represents a point in time where you can create a new reality based upon union of positive and negative polarity. That's negative and positive, or masculine and feminine, is man and woman. It's coming together to create a child, and you cannot create a child with two of the same thing. And this is just more or less on an alchemical aspect, not a morality thing, because I don't care what you do. But in the forms of creation, in the forms of realization, we take our masculine principle, which is our positive principle, and we take our feminine principle, which is our negative principle, and not negative in the sense of bad, but negative in the sense of a car, negative charge, positive charge. These things are needed to start the fucking engine. So our spiritual soul engine doesn't start until we fully engage into our negative charge and our positive charge. Saturn Day, we deal with the energy of the hangman and the energy of subjugation and the energy of serving an idea or a person or a religion or a system or a corporation or anything that seemingly has the answer for you, a church, a group, a cult, a coven. You know, you find solace in this group and not find solace in yourself, a family, a relationship, anything outside of yourself that you find value in is very unhealthy today. The thing that you must find value in is yourself, God. Please. The universe needs you to do this. So that was the message. It was a stream of consciousness specifically designed for the souls on this planet, specifically designed for you. And if you want to get more acquainted with me and want to get deeper into this conversation, please visit me at www.hoodmystic.com. If you want to just donate to this channel, if the energy exchange is real and you really value energy exchange, you realize that nothing in this world comes for free. You could donate to this channel, whether it's $1 or anything that your heart moves you to donate. Patreon.com/TheHoodMystics. Patreon.com/TheHood, not TheHoodMystic, but /Hoodmystic. The links will be in the description. Cash App Hoodmystic38. It's real. So I just want to, for the sake of energy's continuous reciprocation, this energy may feel valuable to you, because it is. But we have to just at least put it out there for you to understand it and then apply it for your life. Don't think of it as me being special. Think of it as you being special. So hoodmystic@gmail is the email. This was the Saturday energy reading. I really want you guys to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, so whenever I go live, it'll just pop up in your phone. So you can't just be like, oh, I caught it this time. No, you catch it every time. Just subscribe to this channel and hit the notifications bell. Much love from me and my family, the Soul Tribe out there. We are making amazing strides in connecting and networking with each other outside of these platforms. So let's continue. Let's keep hitting me up, keep hitting other people up. Let's begin to connect on a spiritual, deeper level. And we doing this YouTube thing, but it's real connections outside of YouTube that we don't even have to talk about. Just mad love, mad peace, much respect, and let's continue to come together in the name of consciousness, in the name of spirit. So let's see what's going on in these comments before I sign up. What y'all been on? Peace to Australia, man. Much love to Australia. We get a lot of support from Australia, so it's all the same thing. It's all the same love. Peace to everybody out there in Australia. I know it's late night over there, so y'all make sure y'all have a good night. Great risings, peace. Like I really feel this energy, and I really feel the love festering and boiling within inside of us. So we need to begin to let this energy rise and see where this energy takes us, and not block this energy from having these mundane, fake ass dreams of what life should be. Let's create the life that we should be living in the moment and through love of our fellow brother and sister. But let's not play games with this shit. Oh, he in this group or he in that group. Fuck all that. Let's deal with each other, because who else gonna deal with like we getting set up and we need to really fight back. So peace to y'all, man.